Hi everyone, it's Leanne, and today I will be making a video about my experience at U of T and what it's like to go to school at U of T and what to expect and everything like that. So I guess this will be a two-part thing. I'll talk about my experience first and then talk about more general things about what to expect at U of T. So I guess I'll put a timestamp of when that will happen. Also, I cut bangs, so I can't stop I don't know, doing stuff in my hair because it's really annoying, and I know it just does not look that good, and I just cut my hair at a time where I was just like, I really wanted to change everything about myself because I hate myself, and then it just ended up hating the look even more and hating myself even more. So I don't know what I was trying to go with that, so yeah, let's just ignore that, and I'm just gonna get on with the video. And yeah, so again, I just want to, I don't know, make a disclaimer saying that this is a very specific experience to myself. This is what I know about U of T, this is what I've experienced at U of T, and obviously I'm not saying everyone will experience the same thing and blah blah blah, and you guys already know. And honestly, if you just want to leave a comment saying that this isn't right or you didn't experience this or whatever, go ahead, I don't care. It brings more people to my video, brings traction, attention, clicks, interactions, which is all good. So leave all those comments down below, I don't really care. Yeah, I am studying at the University of Toronto downtown campus, so I don't know anything about Scarborough or Mississauga, so please don't ask me that. And also, I don't know how U of T compares to other schools because I've never been to another school, so yeah, I can't answer that. But I do know about U of T because I studied there for 2 years so far. I'm going on to my third year. I studied political science and sociology in the arts and science program or department. So I guess I'll start off with my experience. I'll talk about my first year and then second year. So first year I lived on campus and second year I lived off campus. So I guess I'll talk about that, living on and off campus, and then just go into what U of T is like. So the first year I lived on campus where I had a dorm, and if you want to see my move-in vlog, I'll link it there or down below or at the end, or I don't know, somewhere. I'll just link it everywhere if you just want to see it. So I did live in a dorm and I did have a roommate. So I lived in a communal dorm where we shared the bathrooms and we shared the kitchen area and everything like that with the whole floor. And my dorm experience wasn't that great, specifically because I didn't like the dorm I was in. Not because I didn't like living on campus, it's just I didn't like the dorm I was in. And then also we had a window, but the window was really shitty because it was all the way, it felt like I was living in prison or something because the window was really high up where I can't even reach it. And then also it was facing a fucking wall, so I don't even know why the window was even there because it was facing a wall, so you barely got any sunlight. So it was really depressing when you were in there. And yeah, so I didn't really have that great of a time first year because when I had to stay in my dorm, I just felt really sad. And also wow, I never felt seasonal depression until I went to school first year at the University of Toronto. So yeah, get ready for that. Seasonal depression is real. Holy, ugh. First year was the worst, and I feel comparing my first and second year was mentally better than first year. And also I didn't like the fees that I had to pay because they were so freaking expensive. On top of the living fees, you also have to pay for dining hall fees just to eat at the dining hall, and I didn't eat there a lot, and actually I wasted a lot of money because I still had a lot of money left and I couldn't get refunded about the meals that I didn't eat, which is so stupid. So I wasted a lot of money on food that shouldn't have been wasted, or could have been prevented if I didn't live on campus and didn't have a meal plan. But the meal plans are required when you live on a dorm or live in the dorm, so it was really freaking annoying. I just have a lot of problems with the dorm I was living in, not so much about the dorms in general. I felt the classes first year were much easier than second year. Again, that is kind of obvious, I guess. That's my experience first year. Second year, I moved off campus and I lived downtown. So I lived well, I am currently living there still, but living kind of close to campus was really nice. And I guess it was kind of sad because I couldn't go back to my dorm and nap whenever I was on campus. But you know, living near the campus is just as great. And I feel like second year my mental health was much better, and I don't know, it was a great time. Also, first year I went to orientation, which I recommend people going to orientation. I met my closest friends at orientation, but also, I don't know, I feel like it's also a waste of money. It's like a hit or miss, honestly. I felt like it was a super big waste of money because I didn't really go to a lot of events because I skipped them because they looked boring, and I was right, they were pretty boring. So yeah, and I don't know, it's just like I paid $100 and I feel like I did not get $100 worth of, you know, events and of what I wanted. And I know that a lot of other colleges, okay, I think I explained this, but UofT has a college system where everyone else is in colleges, but I feel like my college, like their orientation really sucked. When I saw other colleges and their orientation was so much better, like they went to the aquarium, they went to like a baseball game, or like I don't know, and then what didn't even my, I don't even remember what my college did. We did not go on field trips, that's all I remember. But yeah, so it's a good way to meet people, but you know, I don't think it's like a requirement and that you need to go. Okay, so living off campus second year, I guess second year is always different than first year. You already have your friends second year. Okay, so that's enough about my personal experience. I'm going to get into more specific and like, well, not specific, but more general terms of UofT. So I'm going to talk about the environment, the campus, and academics. So let's get started. Preface this video with like just saying that I have a neutral leaning towards negative opinion towards UofT. I don't think it's the best school ever. I don't think this school is 100% the fit for me, to be honest. And I don't absolutely hate the school, or I don't know, it's just that I don't really enjoy this school that much. So everything that I say is from my point of view, obviously, and this is very subjective point of view, and obviously I'm not stating these as facts, so don't take them as facts. And yeah, with that being said, let's just get into it. So the environment at UofT, I feel like, in my opinion, the environment at UofT is very antisocial, more on the academic side, and I feel like a lot of other people would say the same. This is not to say that UofT doesn't have any parties. We have frat houses, there are parties on campus, there are parties at colleges, there's parties at residences. People do party, people do have social life, but again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to academics. A lot of times people put academics over social life. Everybody knows a party school, like, okay, I'm talking like Canadian colleges, but like Western or something. So like imagine Western, UofT is like the complete opposite. Like what I see at Western, like the parties all the time, you will not see that at UofT. You won't see that many parties going on. The most of the partying goes on during Frosh week. So during orientation and Frosh, a lot of frats will have frat parties, and there will be a lot of parties like the engineering parties and stuff like that. So yeah, but otherwise I don't see any other parties going around, and there are not that many. So if you want to go to a party school, I would not recommend UofT. Honestly, do not come to UofT if you think this is a party school, because it absolutely is not a party school. The school, UofT, like University of Toronto, is very, very academic school. Again, it's like ranked very prestigiously, so it's like 20 something in the world. So obviously a lot of students and a lot of people are going to take this seriously, and they take their education very seriously. So it's very, very, very academic based, and I guess at first I didn't realize that, but if you go on any Reddit forums, honestly, if you want to know more about UofT, go on the Reddit forums, like, for UofT, and you'll see a bunch of people talking about their opinions about UofT and how they feel about UofT. So I definitely recommend that. But again, this is a very academic school, and also it will crush your GPA. If you come to the school with a 4.0, you're not going to leave with a 4.0 most likely. And that's not to say that you will never get a 4.0 or it's impossible to get a 4.0. People do. It's just very, very uncommon. If you think about it, we have the Dean's List. The Dean's List is anyone that gets a 3.5 and higher, and that's only 15% of the student population, or 10% of the student population gets on Dean's List. So that means that like only 15% of students get a 3.5 and higher. So if you put that into perspective, when a school of like 80,000 kids, is it 80,000 kids? I think it's 80,000 kids. At a school with 80,000 kids and only 15% of them get 3.5 and above, that's like a perspective that you need to understand. I also get a lot of questions about international students, if U of T accepts international students or whatever. Yes, we have a bunch of international students at U of T. Another thing about the environment at U of T is that you are usually in large classes. So if you are looking for a more intimate setting for your schooling, U of T probably isn't the place for you, because the first year classes usually range from 1,000 to like 200 kids in one classroom. And I remember 3 out of my 5 classes I had like first semester, they all had 1,000 kids. So if you're looking for a really intimate setting where the teacher actually knows your name, or you can really communicate with them and everything, I guess you can go to office hours. But if you're looking for that and you want that right off the bat, U of T is probably not the school for you, because the school is so big. They have to accommodate a lot of students, so they have to have larger classes. And as the years go by, like if you're in 3rd year, you'll probably have like smaller classes, because next year I have a class with like 25 people or so, and that is like one of the lowest classes I've had. So if you want like a small class experience, I don't think U of T would be the one for you. I preface this part of the video saying that I have a more neutral negative feeling towards U of T, and I feel like at U of T you can easily feel dissatisfied, and that is like one thing that I don't like about the school, again, because they put you at such a high standard, and academically it's very, very difficult, and the environment is quite sad. Not everyone is happy, and honestly, if you ask, like 9 times out of 10 you'll find someone dissatisfied about the school than they're happy about the school. The school, again, is very prestigious, so there's a lot of like stuck-up people. U of T's environment is not that welcoming, to be honest, and it's just like not that fun. Everyone is very, very stressed. It's very high intensity. In that sense, everyone suffers together, which is a great thing. It just brings you together. So like everyone hates the school as much as you do, and it just like it's a warm hug that you all suffer together just to get this one degree with this one name, because it's U of T. Okay, so enough about the environment at U of T. I'm going to be talking about the academics. So personally, I think the academics are quite difficult, and I feel like it's hard to get that 4.0, which it might be easy for some people, but again, I think it's quite hard, and for me, it's not the easiest thing, but it's not impossible. And maybe for some people, the school is super easy and very nice, and they love it, and they think it's perfect, or blah, blah, blah. But again, in my opinion, I think the academics are very hard, and if you go on the U of T forums on Reddit, you will know that the courses are very hard, and there are not a lot of bird courses, and even if there are, it doesn't mean you'll get like a 4.0. You still gotta work. We have a library that's 24 hours, and it's infamous, Robarts, and people will study there for 24 hours, like non-stop. People literally sleep there because they're studying for their exams and their finals, and that's how intense it is at our school. And I don't know, I just feel like the academics are pretty hard, and it's very hard to get into certain programs. And also another thing is that I just like am very dissatisfied with the school, is that how they run their courses and their majoring, and I just feel like they have too many prerequisites for a major before you can get into stuff that you actually want to learn. That you have to take a bunch of prerequisites, which is so annoying, but I guess that's for another video. Also, it's easy to feel burnt out at the school, and just since you're in a class with like 1,000 kids, 100 kids, 200 kids, whatever, there's not a lot of like one-on-one with the professor during course time and class time. Also, when you go to office hours, especially during like assignments or essays, when you can go to office hours to your professors, whatever, sometimes you have a long ass wait because there's so many people, which can be very annoying. But yeah, I don't know, generally I feel like the professors at U of T are whatever. I don't know. I haven't. There's some phenomenal professors, like really good ones that care, but it also really depends. The academic environment at U of T, however, is very, very, very competitive. Again, I think I talked about the comp sci program in my how to get into university video, but it's a very competitive environment at U of T. So definitely not everyone is here to help you and be super nice to you. Everyone just wants to get into their major, and because of that, there's a lot of pressure on students, and it's just super competitive. I'll get into campus right now. U of T's campus is scattered throughout downtown Toronto. Not as downtown as Ryerson, I would say, but still downtown Toronto. And we don't have like a set meeting spot or like a set campus area. It's just like campuses everywhere. So again, it's not like a traditional university. If you know like NYU, imagine like NYU but in Toronto. It's like the buildings are scattered everywhere, and also the buildings are low-key ugly. I don't know, a lot of people think the buildings are pretty. I think they're kind of ugly. It's very like Victorian style architecture, not very modern. I'm into like more modern things. And also we have a lot of brutalist architecture, like Robards, which is a great studying environment. Don't you want to study in like a concrete turkey peacock? But otherwise, the campus is right downtown. It's very accessible to a lot of things, and you can easily go get a meal or do anything because you're downtown but also on campus. So there's like Second Cups and Starbucks and Chat Time and pubs and everything nearby. So honestly, it's not that big of an inconvenience to find somewhere to eat or somewhere to study. So that's really nice. Also, like, you don't really feel like you're secluded in one area because the subway, you can go to different places, and also it's downtown, so it's like you can go anywhere you want. So that's like a benefit of going to the school. Yeah, so like that's why I really wanted to go to the school as well, because I knew that Ryerson, it was this or Ryerson or York. So York, I know, is very like secluded. It's like in one area. You can't really go out of that area because there's nothing around York. So in York, you just stay in that York area. But at U of T, if you go to the U of T campus, you can go outside in downtown Toronto and go anywhere you want. So that is a nice benefit of U of T compared to York, I guess. But yeah, that's all I have to say. And sorry if this video wasn't that good, but I'd really recommend you guys going to like the U of T forums on Reddit and stuff, read more about U of T, and a lot of people have a lot to say about U of T, and this is just my opinion of what I have on U of T, and this is my experience of what I've experienced at U of T, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if my bangs were really annoying, because they were like really itching my face, and I don't know why I'm losing my voice. I think I've been talking too long. So I'll see you guys later, I guess. Leave any comments you have or questions you have down below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. And if you guys want to see any more of my school videos, I'll link them up here or wherever down below, or end cards. And yeah, leave video suggestions and like, comment, subscribe, all that. I'll see you next time. Bye.